Brighton 2, Man United 1, first loss of the season.
I can't believe it. I can't even believe I have this facial expression for now. Too early, way too early. I said yesterday, and it doesn't go anywhere. We said on the Trinity, Man United must win this game. Like there's games that there's games we can lose. This is a game we must win. So there's no excuses. There's no way I can say anything on the likes of there's this or there's that. Just not good enough. Simply like across the board, not good enough. Like we're holding everyone accountable, holding the manager accountable, holding the team accountable, holding ourselves accountable. And what we can truly say into this game is we started well. We saw bits of good football in the beginning. In the first half, we said, okay, this is working. I like the fact that we have control of the game. And Mason Mount was a key component in that. I know at the start of the fixture, everyone was so mad about Mason Mount and the team, but we kind of sees what he can provide to us. But guess what? Doesn't last. We get to half time. We win and go down in the first half. Yeah. Started Harry Maguire. So again, what's crazy is Ten Hag, you live and die by the decisions in it. And that's the thing of being the manager. This is you now. Like, we can't do anything. We said, look, all the money's been given. What do you want to... Now, it's your thing to run. Yeah. It's that simple. There's nowhere to run with it. So then today, he says, I'm going to start Maguire, which I thought he was going to do. And he does it. Maguire, there was 2 chances to clean up. He doesn't clean up. And then we get in trouble. Well, anyway, it is what it is. Like, you wanted to reward him, you live and die by that decision. Next decision that you make is, it's when the Mason Mount thing, because we was arguing, like saying, well, no, you weren't really arguing, but saying what the comment was saying to you about why you're making a big deal about Mason Mount. And everyone, that was the big argument before the kickoff, right? But then without him, look at what we look like. Without him in the midfield, we have a problem, Flex. But then we're only now, and I was more disgusted with the manager. If you asked me what the manager's rating was going to be with the decision that he made today, I would have given him a 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? Well, 1, because he went so far away from what he was doing, only to hear recently that Mason Mount could have picked up a knock. There's too much, like, I don't even know where, and do you know what the killer is? It just feels like now, wow, like, you don't want to overreact, but then how are we going to join this team together effectively? Because we had that, if Mason Mount's meant to be in this team, then where does Bruno play? And because then people are saying put Bruno wide, but then where does Rashi and where does everyone play?
Essentially, now, after a window, it feels like you're saying there's now more questions than there is answers. We're leaving more puzzled as to actually what did we do now? Because
when I was sitting there, I was still trying to figure out. I was like, wait a minute. If you're telling me the only way we get control is with Mason Mount in the 10, we got a problem because I can't have Bruno playing as false 9 that can't be the future. So
no, we bought 2 number 9s.
We bought 2 number 9s. So Bruno playing false 9 is not the future. So then guess what? Well, where does he play? So now there's, when you're like, oh, we got to fix this, because all of a sudden there's still a midfieldish issue. Now where it can be fixed, because taking off Bruno for Scott, you live and die by that decision. When we look at it, probably was a bad decision. Like if anyone's they're playing such a high line, if anyone's gonna get round it with something clever, more likely to be Bruno than Scott. Scott, yes, he can crash the box and stuff and get involved, but he's not the one that's gonna create the moment. He arrives in the moment. So, we don't need to go like crazy overboard, but there's concerns.
A lot of people have, obviously, online, and the comments coming in was, this 10 on Ten Hag is why he's going to be out the job. This is why he's not going to last, because we haven't changed. It is the same old. You said before we wrapped up that like you have to call this what it was. This one, when people were trying to say it was Fulham, it wasn't. But this one was like same old United. Played good for half an hour. Then for some reason or what, just like you said, by one player coming off because of an injury, the whole thing shouldn't fall like a stack of shit. But it did.
Copy and paste, mate. This is where you do copy and paste. You literally, you cut the feedback of everyone said about our win and put it today. Because it
applies today.
When Scholes spoke about basketball today. It was basketball today. Not like that's what it was. At the end, we had control. There was moments where it was like, this is good football. I saw good football first half. Second half, we said, hang on, what's going on there? Brighton came out.
We abandoned all principles in the second half.
Literally. And then guess what? We saw shades of the old stuff. We saw Casemiro diving special, bro. He dived in twice, didn't win the ball. We saw like there's so many things that started to go wrong. And while Delo was one of our best players today, if we're being honest, but he falls asleep because he doesn't know to check that shoulder. He doesn't know to look there. Doesn't see it. Easiest goal you could score. Like just defensive fundamentals. We just let ourselves down. Like there was so many, and that's why I say like we let ourselves down, and that's why you have to say today, like if you share the blame and stuff, I'd have to say 70% for the manager. It has to be, you know what I mean?
The team he started, which didn't have the lit in it, but then Maguire goes to make a mistake, so people are going to look. Mason Mount call he's injured, but then like I said, Scott for Bruno doesn't, because he got praised when Rashford came off. Everyone praised that.
There you go.
When Bruno come off, eyebrows were raised. But like gets to the end of the game, it hasn't worked.
Remember, I said we can't do the inquest now.
Yeah,
I said we don't want to get into the Bruno thing right now.
You got to wait.
I said what I'm gonna do is trust the manager this season. I'm gonna trust in his decisions. But again, the manager's gonna live and die by every decision he makes. Now today he got it wrong. He has to fix it. The next game is Liverpool. It's now you're saying, bro, like get me Ugarte. Like it's a serious thing because guess what? When you expose Cassie, remember we was holding his hand, so we couldn't see what was that. Is he back? And that's what we was waiting for.
Yeah.
Was that? Is he back?
And Marcel said, "Yeah, well, it's just a 50-minute play or 60-minute play."
When you leave him in the lurch, when you say Casemiro, no one can hold your hand here. Everyone has to do their own job.
Yeah,
he can't. It was dive in central, you know what I mean? And that's what, in those moments, if you're like winning the ball and you're in control, you're going to be good there. Now, it was unfortunate with the Xerxes goal offside.
Yeah, very unlucky.
Unfortunate with that, but then I think that doesn't tell the true story of today's game. Second half, they could have got a lot of goals, bro. They could have got a lot of goals. There's one. Don't forget, in that same game, the low clears off the line, bro.
From James Milner, bro.
From James Milner.
And then Welbeck hit the crossbar.
Onana wasn't saving that. No. You know what I mean? So, again, I think while it hurts a little bit, in terms of while it hurts the scoreline, I think when you deep it, is reflective of what happened today. And that's why, like, as we said,
yeah, Brian deserved it.
There can be noise. At the end of the day, I would have taken a draw and thought, we got out of here. You know what I mean? And even that is not good enough. But I'm saying where we have to be now is just be honest and say, look, today, the manager, he messed up. The players should do more. Rashford, I can spend some time on him. I need more from him. Not doing enough. Doesn't deserve to start against Liverpool. There's things to fix. A lot of work has to be done on the training ground.
There you go. First loss of the season.